Hello everybody, I'm Hannah Hager, the Content Director at Call Center IQ, and today I'm joined by Amy Latzer, who's the Chief Operating Officer at 211 LA County, and we are here at the 15th Annual Call Center Week. Welcome.
Thank you.
Would you mind telling us a little bit about 211, how many agents you have?
Sure. So 211 LA County is a private nonprofit organization based in San Gabriel, and we serve all 10 million residents of Los Angeles County. We handle about 500,000 calls a year right now. We have about 60 agents, give or take, and we've actually been in business for about 35 years. And we've been 211. Next year we'll be celebrating 10 years as a 211. So prior to that, we were an info line, which is very, very common across the country. Mm-hmm. And then we moved and got the 211 designation 9 years ago.
Great, congratulations. I can't wait to hear some more of your insight. Because you're in a unique position as the CEO of LA's 211 LA County, helpline, it's expected of your team to be especially caring and compassionate. So how do you train and develop a staff who is able to possess that skill set and go above and beyond the caller's expectations?
So I think it really starts with before they're in training. I think it starts with the hiring selection. It really, really requires a very specific skill set and personality type. These are not easy calls. We're handling calls from some of the most vulnerable, at-risk population in LA County, and from people who a lot of times just know what's wrong. They don't really know what they need. They don't know what services are even available to them. Mm-hmm. And so we need somebody who is curious and sensitive and has the natural ability to be empathetic and sound empathetic and really validate that someone's called the right place and they are going to help them. That doesn't always mean that we have all the answers. It just means that we're going to work through it with them. So I think it really starts in the hiring process. We do a lot of training around what does it mean to sound empathetic or to validate somebody's situation, and where does it sound appropriate in a call, because to have be a checkbox on the QA scorecard and then have somebody plug in some sort of empathetic or validating statement somewhere in the call that doesn't sound natural or make sense is really not delivering the kind of experience that we really want to have. At the same time, we really have to be creative in how staff can become resilient. They can be triggered by these calls. We handle suicide type calls. We handle abuse calls, whether it be animal abuse, elder abuse, child abuse. All those different things can be a trigger for somebody. And everyone has a different set of triggers and different life experiences that they walk into the job with. And so we really go through some resiliency training on how to create proper boundaries, how to debrief after a call, and how to get back onto that next call because there is somebody else who needs to help them. Our training is very, very interactive. Almost every training we do has some game, some play element, some sort of role playing, some practice, and that's the time to make mistakes in the training, not on the phone.
Yeah, and then you can correct them.
Absolutely. That's the time to say, hey, that's not sounding natural. That doesn't really work. Or how are you really feeling? Because you seem uncomfortable. Yeah. That's the time to talk about it, not when they're on the calls. I mean, it does happen on the calls, and we do correct and we do train based on whatever happens on a call. But we really try and create interactive training so it's that safe place to really try it out.
Perfect. So this brings up another question. What are the differences between a private and a public customer service center, and what can they learn from each other?
So I think there might be some infrastructure differences to some degree. Everyone's looking to save money. So I would never say that money is a difference. A sales center may have the ability to just want something, sell more, buy what they want. We have to go look for that funding. That kind of difference exists. And there's some really interesting partnerships that I actually really think could be beautiful to meld those two things together. But as far as the customer experience in those two different types of centers, I don't believe there should be a difference. I think that somebody calling into a nonprofit organization such as 211 looking for social services, they need help and they deserve to be handled just as well as somebody calling to buy a very expensive handbag. They deserve that same special touch. And I believe very strongly in that, and so does my staff. They want to give a lot of respect to the people who are calling. They're calling in a vulnerable place. They're calling for help. And more than just a name of an agency and a number to call, we really want to empower them and let them know that they're still valuable in this world.
Exactly.
And that they've called the right place and we're going to help knock down some doors for them if we need to.
Perfect. Thank you so much. That's a great answer. So what is 211 LA County's service promise, and what are your tips for engaging your team to deliver upon it?
Well, one of the things is that we really promise that we're more than just a number, and that we're going to give more than just a number.
Okay.
411 in its heyday is a wonderful service. It gives a phone number, but that is not what 211 is. And so we really promise that when you call, you're going to be really listened to, you're going to be cared for, it's going to happen with a heart, and we're going to match you up with the services that are most likely to be able to help you. The other thing we're going to do is really find out what's really going on.
Right.
So if somebody calls and says, my children are here with me and we have not eaten all day. Okay, well, we can give you a food referral. But why have you not eaten all day? What's really going on here? And can learn something like maybe she fled a domestic violence situation and doesn't have any money on her and is afraid to use a credit card because the perpetrator could find her. We need to really know what's going on. And that is the promise that we give, is that we're going to really find out what's happening. We screen for lots of services that people may not know that they're either eligible for or even exist. So we really have an obligation to deliver on that promise, and that they're going to get a real person. They're going to get real help from a real person when they call or when they reach out to us over the internet.
Which speaks to your motto, which is real help.
Real help.
There you go. You're a real help. I love it. So finally, how does 211 LA County drive value in terms of leading to greater customer satisfaction while also maybe having cost-cutting measures and generating revenue?
Well, we don't generate any revenue from our callers directly, but their experiences, empowering them and connecting them to the right services and creating the right partnerships in the community leads to other funding opportunities. We do collect a lot of information on every single call about why is somebody calling, what kind of services we gave them, and a lot of demographic information that helps lead to better referrals, but also helps us tell the story of who's really calling. And understanding our caller population helps us really paint a picture in our community so that people are going to have a healthier life and that families and individuals are going to thrive. And if we do not do a good job on the phone, if we do not create a good experience, those opportunities are going to go somewhere else. I mean, it's competitive everywhere. LA is particularly competitive in this particular environment. And if we can't show the value for a good experience, then we're going to become irrelevant. So it's really important that we deliver on that promise. And it opens a lot of funding doors, and it opens up a lot of partnerships. Yeah. Really important partnerships for us. Yeah.
Well, that's great. Thank you so much, Amy.
Thank
I really
you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.